Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha and Butler are here, and I just witnessed something right before we went on air. We have our fish tank that is sponsored by the lovely people at Top Shelf Aquatics. We have a dory fish in there that we just call dory because we're not creative. But that thing came over, and we only have one shrimp now, I guess a cleaner shrimp.
Yeah, the other died.
The other one died. Right after we added a bunch of new fish, he died. Dory swam up to the shrimp that's been putting its shrimp ass in the camera all day. It's just been wiggling its
shrimp feathers.
Yeah, the stuff you rip off.
Yeah.
Right before you pop him in your mouth. And Dory bit his face so hard, and he ran out of there, and it was very, very aggressive. It's like having planet Earth in my own studio is awesome.
Shrimp must be some like tough MFers, right? Like
Cockroaches of the sea?
Yeah, they are, their life is miserable, right? I mean, they're eating doo-doo all day, and then...
No, I think they eat food. We just see their doo-doo.
Well,
or do they eat doo-doo?
What you don't want to be in this circle of life is the animals that eat the doo-doo and also feed all the other animals. That seems like the worst one, right?
Says shrimp will eat anything. Algae, dead and living plants, worms, decaying worms, fish, snails, anything.
Yeah. Anything.
And they'll also get eaten by anything.
No, I can't eat them, no.
Well, I mean, anything strong.
I deserve that. No, I do. I take shots all
having
the time.
a shrimp allergy is not not weak.
It's also the allergy, like the irony allergy, right, is what I got a little bit. We have a guest on the line. It's Cadillac Pat. What's up, Cadillac Pat?
What's going on, gang? How we doing?
Good. So, Pat, what you been up to?
Oh, dude, I got a couple of bits of news for y'all. I've been doing some traveling. Was in St. Petersburg for 2 different separate little vacations. That place is nice. You ever been over to St. Pete?
Yeah.
I've been to St. Pete, but when you said St. Petersburg, I was like, are you talking about Russia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when
Who
people
calls
say
it St. Petersburg?
Yeah, and I also think, like, there's St. Pete, and then there's St. Pete Beach.
And then there's Clearwater.
And then there's Clearwater, and just like there's Cocoa and there's Cocoa Beach. Like,
Yes.
Cocoa is way different
yeah.
than Cocoa Beach. They will also let you know that all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody's from Cocoa Beach. I know 2 guys that are from Cocoa Beach, and they make sure to let you know if you say Cocoa.
Yeah, they get
that's
mad.
Cocoa Beach.
They get mad. I feel like if you're at the area... Okay, hold on. For the people that get mad about the Cocoa Beach thing, the area is Cocoa. The area of Cocoa that has a beach is Cocoa Beach.
Yeah. But it's also nicer, and that's where I'm guessing the rich people live, right?
Cocoa Beach.
Yeah. Then Cocoa, inland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you have to drive like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
You might as well say Orlando, though, right?
Yeah. You get all the beach trash that can't afford the actual beach living.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, we'll keep going inland until we can afford it.
And then the rich people are like, all these trash people keep walking up and down our beaches after they drive here.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine how mad like certain people are that have beachfront properties that somehow that's where
You
like,
hit the button and automatically raise your shutters just so you can see trash people frolicking.
and then you can't kick them out because the beach has to be open to everybody.
Does it, though?
For the most part, yeah. Like there's a certain
I feel like we
easement.
should start locking them down.
There are people that would love to, for sure.
I'm joking.
Anyway, so you went down to St. Pete. What'd you do out there?
I mean, just kind of explored. I thought St. Pete was really just a tiny little suburb of like Tampa. I never knew St. Pete was as big as it is because I never really been on the West Coast that much. And it's a freaking cool place, man. There's a lot of art and like cool vibes and like just good food and good bars and restaurants, and it's a cool area.
Talk to me about vibes, because it seems like vibes are very important. I had it on yesterday. This is how I had on my Tom and Dan Vibe shirt yesterday. Everybody talks about vibes, energy, what you're feeling. So you were getting good energy from this place. The people, did you talk to the people? How are they?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a man of the people. I mean, maybe I put off a vibe as well. Maybe I'm attracting like the positive kind of energy, but everybody seemed to be like, it's like a nice beach kind of community, but still big enough. It's still not quite just like Cocoa Beach is kind of tinier. I know there's St. Pete Beach, but St. Pete itself also has a ton of waterways, a ton of intercoastal. So there's a lot of bay, which still is like a water, that vibe of being on the water.
You're my bae.
Also, Cadillac Pat, you say people love talking to you, but that's also
Okay,
what
don't do this.
street people do.
No, he's a chirper.
Yeah, street people say, like,
No.
everybody loves talking. Well, you're dressed like the Riddler, and you're riding.
Dirty Riddler.
You
You're
have
a
a
spectacle.
you have a dirty Riddler costume. That's hard to say.
That is Dirty Riddler.
And you're riding a unicycle with a megaphone.
Yeah,
and
you have a
you're-
dog wearing goggles.
Yeah. Like people are talking to you because
We
you're
love talking to
attracting
crazy people.
attention.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's almost like I was wearing like a bear suit or something at one
No.
point.
I like you giving it back to me.
Always keep one loaded.
I like-
Always keep one loaded for him.
I like you giving it back to me.
Yeah.
Throw it back at him.
So you're down there and you're chirping away and you're meeting people and your girl's with you, I'm assuming?
Yo, yeah, we stayed at the coolest hotel ever too. Like it was like being on a cruise ship. It was a resort with a pool and a restaurant. Like the restaurant was not just for the hotel. The restaurant was like for like the city kind of thing. And everybody that worked there was great. It was like we ordered food from the bar and we would bring it back to our room like with the restaurant's dishes. Cruise ship. It's a super old hotel. Like
I'm sure they love you walking through the halls of the historic hotel with your quesadillas falling on the carpet.
I told my girlfriend like they hated me because I was walking through there drunk trying to meet everybody's friend and like I'm there just being too much. I was being too extra.
Were you being a little
I felt
extra?
like-
Yeah. Did you get
He said no, but I was self-conscious about it.
Tom has a theory that they always say no when you ask them, am I being too much? And they're like, no, you're fine.
Yeah, of
Good.
course. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
somebody saying, when you say, hey, is this good enough of a tip? I'm never going to be like, no. It's always like, yeah, it's good. Of course it is.
but they know.
They do know.
You wouldn't ask,
They do
right?
know.
Yeah. If you have to
I
ask,
think it's
Yeah.
ballsier to be like, is this a good of a tip?
Yeah,
Because
that is ballsy.
Because
Yeah, well,
I
it
know
happens a
you
lot.
won't
It
say-
happens a lot because people, they're trying to justify themselves to in their own mind that they're giving me like not that good of a tip because if they leave me kind of a bad tip and they go, is that good enough? Then I go, yeah, it's good. Then they can leave going, oh, Pat said it was good. He said it was okay.
That's a D-head move.
I've never heard of that one.
Me
It
either.
happens more than you think.
every tip you leave, you should leave that situation thinking that person didn't deserve that much money. Because that's how I do it, where I leave a tip and then I'll leave and I'll be like,
I overtip.
was that worth $22? Like, I'm
Right,
like,
right,
all
yeah.
they did is they brought me one drink.
But that's
and
when you
then
know
my
you've done a good tip.
Well, yeah. Well, at least,
You need to have a little tip remorse.
yes, yeah.
If you don't have tip remorse, you didn't tip enough.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what I'm
right.
saying.
I like
okay
that.
with that.
I actually have that quite a bit. Your tip remorse. You're right.
Yeah, I do that too, where I'll like tip and I'll be like, "Oh man, that was a lot." And
Yeah,
Yes.
Does the 20% like now? This doesn't count for like small. You spend $30 at but who spends $30 at a restaurant nowadays? Like
well,
everything's
I mean, if
more
you get
than-
fast food's expensive now. Though.
Well,
That's
no,
good. It's still $30. I was just at Culver's for the first time. It was $32.
No, I'm not talking about fast
Yeah,
food.
I spent that at Chick-fil-A the other day, and I looked at Andrea and I go, "Damn, I'm an old man now," because I was like, "That's a lot of money."
Oh, dude, fast food's got more expensive.
It's crazy expensive now.
Well, they had to raise their prices because they pay their employees more. That's how it
Yeah.
works.
Well, I'll
it's
show
like,
them.
it's what
I'm cooking now. I'm
Well,
Mr.
also,
Chef.
There's a lot of inventory issues too, and pricing's going up for them
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
food.
they've been gouging.
So
It's like $18 for a chicken sandwich now.
yeah the
just make your own.
So, Pat, let's talk about the 90s because you love the 90s. You live your whole life by the,
You're obsessed.
Although
Although today, the only thing you really are wearing that is 90s is your new shades.
Oh, well, I got
MTV shirt.
you can't quite see. At least, I got the.
Whoa, beefy boy alert.
you are a thick boy.
Yeah, man.
Boy.
Yeah, lately I've been seeing all these men with these chests. I just want
Seth
them.
Petrozelli, eat your heart out.
I just want you to never let me go.
Oh,
He's
did you
buffer
see
than you
Seth
are.
while you were down there? He was down there around the same time. Yeah, you both were down there at the same time.
Yeah,
How's
you-
his boat? How's his? I've been loving the boat talk.
I mean,
about that.
apparently he is having the time of his life. Like, he's asking me to come out with him. All the pictures are of him with young girls with thongs. There's a
That's his
picture-
girlfriend and
there
his
is
girlfriend's friend.
No, but
I thought that
still,
was his niece.
still, where are your thong photos? Then all I see is your son.
Why? I call the old dad with a family. I
It's
have
like
no
kids
thumb.
with their thumbs up in the back of a car.
And the Max is making gang signs. He's got a little bandana on. You know, like
Nerds.
Tommy's like, you know, like that. I see it.
I did no
it's
more
not what
thongs.
Seth does.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I saw Seth had his girlfriend riding the wake. Do you see that? She was on the wakeboard. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, let's go to
well, I
Crab
got-
Beach and walk around and eat crappy pub sub.
Well, that's all I got. Well, I don't have the other option.
There was a girl. Okay, you tell me what you think sounds more fun, Cadillac Pat. Do you want to go to Crab Beach and walk on rocks and eat a soggy sub? Or do you want to watch a girl in a thong wakeboard while you're pounding White Claw?
Ooh, yeah. The
See?
latter. For
Yeah,
sure.
the latter.
Okay, well,
I'm going on Seth's boat, and I'm going to give a full review, contrast and compare with photos.
So when we lived in the 90s and it was pre-internet, let's say, how did we ever find where to go and things to do?
Magazines.
I have wondered that exact. I don't know. Did somebody give me directions and I actually had to write them down and like really follow it? Like, oh, make a left at the McDonald's.
Yeah, I
or,
remember
like,
map
15th
questing.
Yeah. I mean,
I
yeah.
remember
Well,
map.
that's internet still, though.
Yeah,
I'm saying before MapQuest.
I mean,
Road Atlas, maps.
never
Yeah.
used one of those.
Or you asked a friend, right?
Yeah, I would just ask a friend to write directions down. Or my dad. I can remember my dad sending me to get stuff for him when I just got my license. And I can remember him getting a Post-it note, a yellow one. And by the way, Post-it notes were new, so this was like I was using magic. And he would write.
Post-it notes were new.
Yeah, it was like Post-it notes were
I
new.
thought those were
my God.
around the
I'm giving you ammo.
1912s.
I'm giving you the Post-it notes were new. There was
Oh
like
my God.
He's like, you can stick it to things, and when you peel it off, it doesn't leave residue.
they found these beans and you pour hot water through them and they made you crazy.
So he would write the directions on the Post-it note, and then draw like a tiny map, like up here, go to here. It's right at the
Yeah.
end, and that's how I would, go.
See, you guys are weird in the fact that you in this area that you could only find places through a map or through someone giving you directions. You couldn't find
Yes.
by the address. Like in Miami, you could find everything just by the address.
Yeah, nothing's
Because
organized here.
It was built like a grid.
Yeah,
So
smart. It's actually built correctly.
So if like my house that I grew up in was 6969 Southwest 82nd Court, right? So
If you can find 83rd Court, you're somewhere close.
you're at 69th Street and 82nd Court. I forgot how addresses work, but it's like you can get there
You're right.
with just the numbers and just where you are because everything's set up like a grid. And
Yes.
big cities are like that too.
I delivered pizza for like a small amount of time when I was like very young, and I learned how the grids work. There's like the nexus of the universe on each like zip code, and I learned how to find like addresses without having the internet.
So, but
That's impressive.
back to how we found things to do. That was all word of mouth, right? Like,
Your friends would like call you and tell you about things that were going on. You'd hear something.
Radio, TV,
You probably-
magazines,
I'm saying like
newspapers.
I'm saying like local, like for
They had
instance.
like events posted in the newspaper and magazines.
You
and
had to
stuff.
ask a lot more questions, which might lead to where some of my chirping comes from, because I ask you guys a lot, and this is an old man thing to do. I don't think young kids do this. I don't think they walk around going, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? You know what I mean?
No.
I believe that
All
the
on their
reason I
phone.
asked that is reps, because it's what I would have done back in the 90s when there's nothing going on. I'd go to my coworkers or friends and be like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? They would tell me, and that's how I'd find out things to do, right?
yeah.
That's probably why I do it to this day. I should just stop and not talk to you guys.
Did either of you guys sell anything through the bargain trader before there was any kind of Craigslist or Facebook
I
Marketplace?
forgot about-
bought a truck off the bargain trader, and then
dad
Tom set
did.
on fire.
I used
Yeah, I tried to
to
kill you.
at the gas station buy a bargain
Yes.
trader and
Oh,
flip through.
dream. I would dream of cars.
Oh, there was so much good stuff.
Yeah.
And it was the magazine equivalent to Craigslist. It was all like
Oh,
local, And you
For young men, though, you'd look through there, you'd be like, oh, a Bronco, 89 Bronco 2.
I was looking at jet skis. Like I Cycle Trader. I'd buy a Cycle Trader.
Yeah.
I look at 4-wheelers and
Boat
jet
Trader
skis.
was good, too.
A Boat Trader.
Boat Trader was solid.
When I was a teen, that was way beyond. I mean,
Gotcha.
there's no way I'm buying a boat, but I buy an old dirt bike.
Dad would have them laying around, I think, to look at while he's pooping.
You dream, right? It's like, what? And you look at a black and white picture of a
Tiny.
boat. Yeah. And then, they would charge you per description. So people would
abbreviate
abbreviate
a lot of stuff,
everything, so you kind of get a abbreviated idea of what the hell the boat was. And then you look at it and that's all you got. Now it's like, you get, when I was looking for my boat, like people upload like 190 pictures. Like someone went out there, some boat broker, and literally took 100 pictures, HD pictures of every inch of the entire boat. They opened up every compartment, took a picture inside.
Yeah, they'll show it running with the muffs on in the water. Like,
Yeah.
Look at what we're doing. We're doing the maintenance.
Like so much free information. It's too much. And that kind of leads me back to...
It's not as much fun this way, though. I'll tell you that. Because part of that dream of the one picture, the less is more, there is something to me sitting in the bathroom looking at that one little picture of that Sea Ray boat, whatever, it could have been. My imagination would take control instead of the 198 pictures.
So this leads me to a thought that I had the other day when I was trying to plan my Colorado trip. So there's
plan your colostomy surgery.
we were looking for because the last time we went out in the fall, I spent too much money trying to have these fantasies of like driving this super expensive side by side to the old Honda, all these.
Oh yeah, you did the
whitewater rafting.
Yeah, although I did like that one because you were hitting on the old teen guy.
No, I wasn't. I was talking. I was just talking. I was chirping and telling her stories.
Chirping will get you into trouble with the ladies.
Anyway, so I was looking at like a possible place to take the boys, like a waterfall. Like there's probably a waterfall and hikes. I mean, Colorado, right?
Oh,
waterfall,
man.
Corona waterfall.
So I'm looking, and then I see this place called Rifle Falls, right? And then
it's a falls of bullets, right?
So it's just some waterfalls that's like 40 minutes away from where we're
swim in
staying.
it?
No, you just go and look at it, right? But
I've always
That's
wanted
fun for little boys.
I've always wanted to stand in a waterfall.
They like the hiking element last time
Do
we went
they?
more than
They do like the exploring
because they like jumping on the rocks and walking and seeing cool
if you
things.
find a log, you jump
Now, are
off
they
of
walking or are you pulling them in a
No,
wagon?
they're walking.
They go
man.
now.
They like it.
They like to launch off the logs.
So I was like, well, this stuff is free, and I would prefer this.
There you
Dude,
go.
I love being outside.
You
But,
get a cool state park.
So my point being is that I was like, all right, Rifle Falls. Well, let me look into it to see if it's cool, right? So I go to the pictures, right? And then you see the pictures, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, that looks pretty cool.
All right.
And then I'm like, well, I want to know more to get an idea of what we're going to do. Let me go to YouTube. And there's a YouTube video of someone walking the entire path of what Rifle
I'll
Falls.
just put on my VR headset and do that myself.
And then so I'm watching the YouTube video, and they're like, "Here's the bench you should have lunch at," and then they show the entire path of the festival, and like, "Here's the parking lot," and this, they give you all the information and stuff. And I was like, I sat there and thought for a second. I was like, they're kind of taking away the exploration.
Well, you
of
did
it.
that to yourself. You didn't have to look through that walkthrough.
I didn't, but I felt compelled to.
And if you don't have lunch on that bench, you're going to feel like you're cheated the
There's
kids.
also 3 separate hiking trails down there. Which one did you watch?
Oh.
Well, they told me the best one. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of because it's
You didn't get to find out on your own.
But I guess it's more efficient to go just do the best one because I'm not going to go back there a bunch of times.
I disagree. It's like spoiler alert, man, right? I mean, it's like you should have gotten there. You decide lunch. You decide where your family has lunch. You pick the trail.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing.
Yeah, but there are certain instances in life that I've done where I haven't done the research and the planning. And, it's like I've
a dangerous game, though.
I'm taking a page off Andrea's book where she plans stuff out and then she has a better time because it's not so chaotic. No planned van.
You're dabbling in an art you have no business dabbling in, though.
Well,
sir.
but it did kind of feel like I
don't catch me out on the court dribbling the basketballs and
It's not
practicing.
the same though as actually hiking it.
Of course. I know it's not the same.
It's probably
and
better because the air conditioning and everything.
No, well, we're still gonna go, and now we know the best trail and where to go.
Oh,
and
says that guy.
More of a plan.
I
but,
might get down there and say, this is the best trail.
But there was a little bit of sadness I had where I was like, well, I kind of know what it's gonna be. I know what to expect, and
Did
that.
you watch the whole video?
I mean, I could just fast forward through it, like skip to the parts,
Okay.
like, oh, there's a falls. But
Bench, log,
but
play
still,
seat launch.
Bringing us back to the
Grain
90s
trash
topic.
can.
In the 90s, you would go to places you've never seen before. And that doesn't exist anymore.
Not being able to look up things before I saw them was a gift. I will agree with you because, like, for instance,
we've seen everything.
When I was a
on.
kid, I can still remember how ridiculously insane it looked to walk to the cliffs where they'd cliff dive in Acapulco, Mexico, and see it for the first time, and then look at my parents and then have them explain to me that grown men actually dive into this tiny little hole. And we went up there and we had dinner, right?
Yeah.
It would be, you are absolutely 100% correct. If I had been able to Google that and see all of that, it wouldn't have looked as crazy as it looked. It just wouldn't, right?
You wouldn't have had that experience of seeing it for the first time. Like, most of the time.
It blew my mind. I still remember, it's one of the more vivid memories, because I have pretty poor memory, but I remember how I was getting to see my first real death-defying stunt show or something, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, it's like I remember we had this when we went to Hawaii in high school because there was the internet, but we didn't do. It was before people would go and research everything they were going to do.
We document everything now. Like this hiking guy, that's a weird thing to do. And I'm not hating. I'm just saying to document your hike and go, oh, look at this great man. And a lot of people do it and they love doing it. I think it's a little weird.
Well,
It's a little bit of an ego boost. They feel like they're like cool doing it almost. Like I think it's a little bit of egomaniac almost.
No, it had 60,000 views, and people liked the fact that they knew what they were getting into and what to expect and stuff. But when and it's honestly, it is better in the fact that you can now plan things out more, and there's a lot less waste of time and things like that. But you are taking away the fact that I'm showing up somewhere for the first time. I don't know what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm going to see. Like, everybody knows what they're getting into.
See, if you knew how to read, you could have just read about it and read which trail is the best, and it would have taken away the visual element.
No, I don't even really care that much because, like Samantha said, when you see it in person, it's 100 times better always. But I'm just saying now things...
Except the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Right?
Way. But that was never even good in pictures. Like, I was like, what's so good about this? I'm like, maybe in person it's impressive, not impressive. It's just same old...
I feel cheated. Everybody tells me I feel cheated.
You know what you can do with hotel rooms, the same thing you're talking about. I've heard that you can go to YouTube and look up any hotel room in like any major hotel and walk through the hotel so you can get an idea what the rooms look like too. It's a kind of a benefit, I guess, if you really care what your hotel room looks like.
How do you not know that that's a thing?
Pat lives in the 90s.
Yeah, how dare you?
How do you not? Every single hotel.
I'm on an Airbnb site right now. I literally have 3,000 photos of a backyard.
Yeah. Every single hotel company, you book your hotel online, and they have
360 view.
360 view of every room.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it was a couple years ago. I remember hearing about this, I guess. And you know what? I don't ever look at it because I don't care. When I book a hotel, I care about the location more than the room. Like, I mean, I know if it's a Ramada Inn, it's gonna be nice enough. You know what I mean? I don't care.
No, but there is something to be said about this because I can remember the switch flipping for me as a guy that would go on a cruise. Oh, what room do we have? Oh, we have a room with a balcony. There was a level of excitement that you would have
seeing what it looked like.
Here's another thing. I'll broaden it. Here's another one that I know is real popular with people. You go to the website, pull up the menu before you go to dinner that night.
Yeah, I do that every time.
I do it too, but it does take away. There was a.
I never do.
I always enjoyed, and maybe this is just nostalgia and me being finally old. you sit down and when they give you the menu and then you finally get presented and then you see with all these surprises.
Yes.
No,
You know what I mean?
that's how I pick places to
I do
eat.
that everywhere. I do that with everything in life still.
I have to
I
look
don't
at the
like to
menu, and
know.
it's like,
I
if
like
we're,
to be surprised.
would you rather go to this place or this place? I look up their menus, see what I like
Yeah.
more. I'd hate to go to a restaurant and there's nothing on
No,
the
I
menu
get
that
it.
like.
I'm just saying, I think if you're not a picky eater, it's a better way to live to be surprised.
And are you cheating yourself out of bad times? Which
What
is
the hell are you talking
No, you
about?
need bad times.
Yeah,
He's right.
well,
Guess
He's
what?
right.
My life is a bad time. I'm trying to find the good
Yeah,
times.
but so okay. Follow me with this.
he's correct.
We're
I
gonna
agree with
get super deep here and maybe stupid, but I'm just talking it out. So, like, speaking of the 90s, you would show up somewhere. Maybe you didn't see pictures of it. You didn't know.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what to do. And you'd have to, because there's
Maybe
no
you have to
list.
here's an idea. Maybe you'd have to make the best of it.
yeah.
Hold on a second. That's a concept.
Yeah.
You might have to try to have fun no matter what.
So, and now, nowadays, say you're going to St. Pete, right? You've never been there before. You see the hotel room you're staying at. You see the 360 view. You see all the local restaurants you're going to go to. You're like, oh, we're going to have Italian this night. We're going to go to Garibaldi's here.
everything.
You know what I'm saying? Here's the menu. You picked out what you wanted to eat, right? So then you're like, we're going to go to the beach. Where's the closest access? Well, let's go to Google Street View. All right, over, right here. Here's access to the beach. I could walk down the virtual damn beach access to the beach. You know what I'm saying? You could see and all right, this is what the beach looks like. This is what the waves look like. I want to
It's
see
some of the spontaneity of the surprise of the trip. Yeah,
I want to
agree with
see
that.
a webcam view of the wave, what's the local weather right now? Webcam, you watch it.
That's why you and I have always argued that there's a happy medium with this, and
Yeah.
I believe that there is. I think that you can overplan things to the point where you've looked at everything that now your trip you have zero surprises. And of course it's going to
Yeah.
go well. You know it's going to go well. So it's now Sam said that it's your way of justifying the but I don't
Just
think
because you plan things does not mean it's all going to go good.
No, but you're saying
But you have the
that
best chance for it to go good.
You do have the best
I'd
chance.
rather up my chances because inevitably something is going to go wrong regardless.
But not
maybe
that-
maybe I pick out what I want on the menu that I looked at the restaurant. Maybe I pick it out, but I get there and it sucks anyway. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Bad stuff's going to happen.
That-
I'd
yeah,
rather.
but less bad.
Yeah, I want less bad.
I
I don't
would-
Yeah,
want to
but
have an
maybe
or.
we
but-
should have some bad.
Hold on a
So
second.
the good is really good.
I disagree with what you said about the looking at the menu and then you order the food and it's still bad. That would make it worse for me. Because I invested time to go to that website and look. It would be better in that scenario had I just gotten the menu. Oh, I don't really see anything I like. Got to make the best of it. Grilled cheese sandwich. Yuck. Like, I would feel better not have invested my morning coffee.
There's no expectations.
Right, because the expectations are inherently
Disagree.
lower. No,
It's-
I understand
it's-
what you're saying,
yeah.
and I agree with you.
You're-
to a point.
you're right.
You're
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
but I'm saying that for certain people, me investing that time to go to the website, to look at it, know what time I'm going to be there, this is what now I've had from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. to salivate over this pasta that I want. Then I get there and the pasta's bad. That's probably going to hurt out just me. That's probably going to
For a man that loves routine, this does not sound like you.
It's going to anger me more. No,
Yeah.
I look up menus. Admittedly, I do, but I'm just saying there's something to be said about what Tom is saying. I like the idea of not looking the menu up, going and kind of being surprised, and then having a roll with it a bit.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't do this because I'm
But
trying.
I do what you do, Sam.
I did this a lot in my life, and why I've had so many problems. But I'm just talking theoretically about should you go on more vacations, not knowing what to expect. Some people go to the movies
Andrea
without
can't
knowing
do
what
that.
they're gonna see and just pick a
I've
movie.
done that before.
And I feel like
See, I don't think I can do that. So
Nobody
that's
does
where
that.
you're
Guy that goes
different.
on a lot of
Andrea,
vacation, I say don't plan. I never plan. We booked the hotel going to St. Pete for 4 days. We found the hotel and booked it on the drive there.
yeah.
That's too much.
I don't
that's
like
hurting,
on cruises.
man.
I don't look at menus. Maybe it's a blessing and a curse, but
But see, that's the
I
thing,
never
is-
plan really anything.
People like
And
to
it-
vacation differently. I could not do that. There's no way in hell.
Oh, do you think Andrea could do that? There's no way. Andrea looks at Andrea looks at menus at restaurants that aren't even open yet.
Yeah, that are about to open. Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
and she's like, I'll plan this for 3 weeks from now. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, that's just
Yeah.
not. So I think there is like a happy medium, but yeah, like,
Well, it's
oh
all
man,
it's all subjective too. It's like whatever makes you happy.
Sure.
But there is, there has to be something to be said with being more spontaneous. Although you're kind of, there is an element of wasting time and not utilizing everything you could have done if you may have planned it. And that's
Correct.
why, like,
I do run through that a little bit.
so like I look at this Colorado vacation, we've planned out every day, like 2 times, what we're doing in the morning, what we're doing in the afternoon, like that much, because we only go out there a couple times a
Make
year.
the most of it.
One
yeah.
time in the
That's
fall.
That's like what Sam does when she goes to the theme parks. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
she ain't messing around. She knows exactly what she wants to hit.
Yeah, if you just show up at a theme park and you're like, I'm gonna get in line,
Oh,
you're gonna
good
waste.
luck.
You're
Good
gonna
luck.
waste your time.
And guess what? Bad things are still going to happen that
Yeah.
day.
Well,
You're not
you
gonna utilize
probably
it.
won't get any of what you want.
But maybe there's something. But I guess
There is a happy medium,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like every time now, me and my husband go on vacation, we do a little bit of planning and a little bit of spontaneity. Like,
An
hey,
open
we have
day
this morning, we're gonna do this, and then we'll figure out something to do while we're there in the afternoon or the evening. You know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
But
that.
at least you have one thing scheduled every day, one cool thing
Now,
to do. Or
now
see.
ask me what I would like to do. Here's my dream, okay? And I don't think this is ever possible because I've married the woman that I married. I love her with all my heart. But I do dream, and I put this right under my live under a bridge and nobody knows where I am, and I'm
Yeah, yeah.
scavenging homeless person. Right under that dream is a dream, and I kid you not, I've talked to you about this. There is a part of me that wants to get Andrea and already have, like a babysitter for Maisie all planned,
Oh,
and
just
just
get a-
drive to the airport and pick a ticket and get in a plane and get a couple cold beers, and we take off, and we don't have nothing planned.
She'd
Figure
have
it
a
out.
panic attack.
Figure it out
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
get there.
I
Figure
think-
it out when we get there.
That-
because
Buy a
But
plane
how do
ticket
you
like
pack? You
That's
don't know
a-
if it's going to be
we
hot,
don't.
cold.
No, close on our back.
You
And then
buy
we'll buy
clothes.
some while you're there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm.
Who the hell
he
has money
knows.
for
I've
that?
talked about this. There is something.
Well, you go to Walmart. I mean, you can get
Yeah,
some sleeping
it-
clothes.
I don't know
and-
where I'm going. I might be going to a place that doesn't have Walmart.
You know why I want to do this? Because it
Every
falls
place has
under-
Walmart.
Yeah,
We're
unfortunately.
doomed. We're doomed.
We are doomed.
Not
But
Norway.
Doesn't that sound sort of exciting?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that sounds terrifying.
It's like an adventure. I'm walking around Chicago. I got purple sweatpants on because I went to Walmart.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Stumble into a bar.
there.
I don't know. It just sounds like something I wouldn't do. So there's something I'm drawn.
I often think
to
too. It's like maybe you should go to a place that you don't want to go because you would never opt to go there, right? So,
Right.
so like we get stuck in our same patterns and our same comfortability levels and stuff, and like so you're like, well, I like to go to the beach here or this place. I've always wanted to go to this place, but
That is
may-
my wife to a T.
maybe you just go to a place you'd never go to normally that you never even thought about wanting to go to just to experience it and
I
maybe
did that with Boston, and I ended up loving it.
and then
Yeah.
finding the good
Yeah.
in it. And
Yeah.
then it's like I would have never done this and I'm maybe better for it.
You know
I
what's
don't
funny?
know.
Sam was even a little concerned.
got the discipline
I
for that?
remember you were a little concerned before even going to Boston, where you were like, I don't know.
I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
remember you even saying to me, you were like, I don't know. We don't. And then you came back and you're like, this place rules.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It's just so hard to force yourself to do something that you're uncomfortable doing.
Well, it's
And
easier.
but it's probably good for you, but it's hard. Who the hell, especially if you
mean-
don't have to, if the only reason to do it is some personal challenge that you're making up, then it's like,
Right.
I don't want to do that. I want to go to the
Right.
place I like. I want to eat the food that I like.
Yeah,
and it's
and-
like, nah, you should try something
And,
different.
and usually the stuff that you like, there's comfortability, but it's also not that bad considering it's like nobody's really going to balk too much that you're at the Bahamas again for the 90th time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like nobody's really going to be like, this is miserable. Now it's still pretty. It's the Bahamas.
yeah.
I'm
But-
one of those people that I don't like to go to the same place.
I
again
don't
and again.
either, but if I end up there, I'm
You're
just
like,
like,
yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what adventures did you get into, Pat? Because we're taking over your entire segment.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Pat. I forgot you were here, truthfully. I'm kidding.
Well, we kind of just did a little bit of nothing, which is, what I like to do. We just you kind of just wander and stumble into things. We went to St. Pete, got this new giant, like it's literally a mile long pier. It's not even like a wooden pier like you think of. It's it's concrete. There's a bar, there's like a 3-story bar restaurant at the end of it. And the girl said it's a mile long, which is, it's freaking awesome. It's like a new little hotspot for St. Pete's Bayside, not the beach side.
Daniel, remember the days where, and this is the 80s, I think, where
Is
we
this a
grew up.
shot or a real question?
Yeah.
No, no. Well,
Because
it's-
both are allowed.
I'm laughing because all my vacations and everything I do is now turned into how do I entertain my sons, which is probably not good. But But it's all revolves around what they would have fun doing.
What do people expect you to do? You have 2 new sons. What do they think you're
No,
gonna,
no.
What are you going to... Oh, hold on. Are
Sorry,
you fixed now?
yeah.
Okay, go.
You got to force them to do things they don't want to do, Tom.
Well, I'm only doing things that I think they would have fun
He
doing.
kind of already does.
That's true.
I don't know if you figured
He
this
thinks
out
that
yet,
it's
but
gonna be fun for them.
He takes them
Yeah.
on these boats, and he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah, they
about
don't know
grit.
anything. Yeah.
Does he not know that in like 20 years they will have laser casts, and they'll be talking about how much grit they gained from going on this
God, my
stupid
dad
boat they
had to-
hated?
Kept taking me on this boat.
That's
every
what I
weekend.
think. I think there might be something to that, because if they're not super into it, then they're getting grit.
But it's like, back in the day, our parents used to just go on their vacation.
Nothing was for me, Tom.
They would
well,
take
it
their
was for me.
kids.
I don't want to. That's a stupid thing to say, but they did not pick their vacations based on where I wanted to go.
Hell no.
That's
Hell
a new thing.
Well, you know what? I mean,
that's a new thing, dude. Like my wife pitched this to me, and I don't know how I feel about it. There's a resort that you can go to that basically it's we already did the Nickelodeon resort. Okay, we already got that one in the bag.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a kids resort, but now there's another one, some Wolf Lodge or something she wants me to go to that's all about like kid stuff. And I put
Is
my
that
foot,
North Carolina?
Yeah, and I put my
My
foot down.
sister went there.
I put my foot down. I said, we did that. Can we go to something historic? Can we go to something, because like, I don't want to do the Nickelodeon 2. It was great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it.
Oh, please start taking your family an old man Civil War.
Yes.
What am I looking at? Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Savannah, Georgia going on a ghost tour.
Like, bring your metal detectors. There's still musket balls in the grass.
So wait a minute. You're saying I should go to the Great Wolf Lodge or whatever it is? And
No,
I
I don't-
give up? You want me to give up?
No, I don't like
Sam
it.
doesn't want me to give up.
No.
Butler doesn't want me to
Go
give
on
up.
some
Pat
adventures.
doesn't want me to give up.
I
Go
don't
to some
want-
cool
yeah.
state parks or something.
I don't
Yeah.
like any of those resorts
Go
and
see the
stuff
Grand
like
Canyon.
I'm not a theme park guy. I don't
Yeah,
like
you're
resorts.
such a
Like
fan.
I'd rather go to outdoors and walk around. Dude, I've seen BDMs. They posted pictures of like Zion National Park. and
That's
stuff.
where- that's my
And-
next bucket
And you're
list.
like, oh my god, this is like unbelievable.
amazing.
Yeah, it does look amazing.
It also makes me sad because I'm like, I'm seeing these pictures, so is the world, and this place is gonna be S-slammed.
It already is.
It's S-slammed, and it's probably like way too many people, and then and it's like they're slowly ruining it. So it's like sad, but
I'm in a couple of threads because one of my other dreams, it's like probably the third one, is rooftop tent. We've been through this before.
yeah,
And I'm in-
overlanding.
Yeah, overlanding, and I'm in those groups just to, late at night.
To dream.
You a left-handed
Gotta
cigarette, and I'm in there dreaming. And there was an old man that posted maybe last night or the night before. He's selling all his gear because he says I'm getting a little too old for it, but all the spots that he likes to go to are so overcrowded that he just can't take it anymore. And he's selling all of his stuff. He was so sad.
Dude, that's like that surfer that was talking about how the surfing in the Olympics have ruined all surf spots now because it's going to get too popular.
He's like, all my places I used to
Yeah.
fish, all the places I used to camp alone. He's like, you
Well,
can't.
everybody kept telling us to get outside,
Yeah,
okay?
it's your
Yeah.
fault.
We did.
It's your fault.
You said back in the 90s, you had word of mouth. Now TikTok is word of mouth, and it gets to everybody immediately. So every little secret spot that you took years to get to everybody know, now everybody knows right away.
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok has ruined so many little hidden things
Dude,
because everybody knows about it right away now.
the internet, there's no more secrets. I've said it before. It's like now there's no more secret hideaways, except for the bar.
There is secrets hideaway.
Oh,
if you'd
yeah,
like
yeah.
to get a butt plug.
So, but there's no more of those like, hey, this is a secret that no one knows about.
Well,
Like,
there are. It's just you have to have a VR headset, and it's a virtual new mountain that you go to.
Yeah,
Right? I mean,
yeah.
is that what we're going to?
Yeah,
It kind
I don't
of
know.
feels like, because I got a listener that hit me up yesterday and said that the NFTs and everything, he's like, he wrote it. He was like, you're going to love this. He's like, they're starting these new games that people are going to start playing now where you put your headset on when you get home and you have an actual plot of land that's really like your land, and then it's actually yours and you own it, and there's a real currency within the game and everything, and it's real, and you're living, you have to defend your land from people, and there's like,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I don't want to live like that. I
Oh,
just go to my bridge.
No, sit me on the chair, feed me the fast food,
No, man.
and the spaceship, the robot. So, although we're saying that, but it's not all lost yet because literally last fall. Now this could be different because I was traveling in the middle of COVID and there was less travelers.
Yeah.
But I went on that bike ride through Aspen or whatever, and we stopped at there was literally Disney grass, like that tiny bright green or dark green
like putters
grass, right? And like a river with like colorful stones in the river with like a little bit of white water. It was like some painting Bob Ross did.
Yeah.
And then the trees were turning, and there was a picnic bench, and then we were there by ourselves.
Oh, it's great.
And it was just off a public path. It wasn't something you paid for. It was like, this is a public bike path, and this is what it was on the side of it. And then we stopped there, and the boys were just sitting by the river, and I was was like, oh my God. I'm like, I cannot believe this place is not S-slammed. And then there's like, to even get a picture, I'd have to go through people with mask on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. But it did make me a little sad thinking like it's probably not going to be like this for a long time, right? There's always going to be people here.
Well, that was kind of the thing that the old man on this particular blog was talking about. He was talking about how like most of the places, it's not just the amount of people. It's that the amount of people are new. And he was actually being very respectful with what he was saying.
Yeah, they're amateur.
He was saying
or
they're new, and new people, you don't get the cleanup is never going to be as good, and people are understaffed as far as state parks and places cleaning things up. And he's like, in places that weren't state parks, private land, they're gating it a little bit more because people aren't being as nice. Not as clean.
Yeah. That
it's
happens.
Just growth, and it is sad.
People will inevitably ruin anything, right?
Yes.
Like everything that was awesome at one time got ruined.
We're ruining our own planet.
And then, but
it's
then
not nature.
The
it's
laws,
not animals.
They set the laws and everything. It's like why we can't drink a bottled beer at the beach, right? It's like that people ruin that. Because they broke it and everybody stepped on it.
People litter in the parking lot. People litter everywhere.
They do. Although sea glass.
Is our Earth.
Sea glass is pretty rad.
Is it?
When you find it, and it's been the sand is. Never found sea glass?
No.
I would be totally fine.
Sand in the ocean washes it like nice and soft.
To live in a society where if you start ruining or being a D-head to the environment around you that everybody enjoys.
Chop your hand off.
No, I'm not that.
You got to go live on Keyboard Island out in the Pacific where that island that's made out of computer keyboards. You've heard of that? There's an island in the South Pacific that's all made of like plastic computer keyboards. Go make them live.
It's the size of Texas.
Is it by Texas?
We don't
No,
have
it's the size of Texas.
Oh my God.
Well, that's Plastic Island. That's something in the middle of the ocean. Is that what you're talking about?
That's why I want them to go live there. Do you want your plastic? Go live on Plastic Island.
So it's we should at least, just like Daniel did, but more in the group scenario, all just point your finger and yell shame and get out of here, and then you start doing
this man.
You do that move where you pack up all their stuff for them and shove it in the car.
You gotta throw it out a window.
Something like that to self-police because people are gonna ruin everything, and then eventually they're gonna be like, I'm sorry, nobody can come here anymore.
They're doing that. That's
because you ruined it. And so the people, because if you were respectful, and that old man that probably only left footprints and took pictures.
Bring him in here. Get the spoon.
We gotta wrap it up with Pat. I'm sorry we didn't get to hear about your vacation, Pat.
That's all right.
Well, what do you have to? You went to a long pier.
You went to vacation. You're a good-looking guy. Got a good-looking girlfriend. You guys made love. You drank a lot.
Yeah.
Real quick. The 13th through the 19th. Look for your boy on the Ion channel. I'm going to be in a pretty recognizable snack brand commercial.
Can you not tell us what it is?
It's only on the Ion channel? Oh, my
It
God.
Are
you the new face of Rap Snacks?
Yes.
I wish. But I'm going to be in a commercial. It's on the channel called Ion. The 13th through the 19th. I'm dressed as a criminal in an orange jumpsuit, which kind of may give it away a little bit. I mean, but it's a snack brand that you know for sure.
Cheetos.
No, yeah, Cheetos, criminal. Is there any commercial like that right now?
What?
Where you're in a orange jumpsuit?
Well, I'm the criminal in the snack brand, and you might have said it, but I'm not allowed to say it myself.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Okay,
We'll
it's gonna be on the channel Ion. When I get a copy of it, I'll make sure that I'll put it online and on my TikTok and my Facebook and Instagram and all that.
Yeah, please do, man. Congrats on that. That's very, very cool. And go see him at the Brass Tap.
Yep. All right, come see me. See you guys.
All right, buddy.
See you,
Be
Pat.
good, man. That is our good friend Cadillac Pat, live from his pleasure cave.
I would have talked to Pat more. I just feel like he comes on and we just start conversation.
He's
and
just
go
like our
with it.
friend. It's like we're sitting here having a beer with Pat.
You know, I figured his vacation.
Having a beer with Pat.
I'll write that down.
Okay.
Bye-bye.